Hey, what is up, everyone? Wow, this is really tall. Nice. No? Maybe? Okay. I think we're good now. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. This is Hannah again. And so this is gonna be my first video in a pregnancy series. So I know that I told you guys I wouldn't totally blow up this channel with pregnant videos, but this one I had to tell you guys. So for you guys that may know me personally, I am almost 15 weeks pregnant, just got out of my first trimester. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you guys the ugly truth about the first trimester. So we hear all these amazing things about being pregnant. You know, you're growing something just beautiful and awesome inside. And you know, you may know about the few little quirks like being nauseous or having heartburn, that sort of stuff. There is way more to this than they tell you. So for you first time moms, some of you may have these symptoms. For me, having 3 children of my own, it progressively has gotten worse, maybe? I don't really know. My first pregnancy was absolutely amazing, flawless. I wasn't uncomfortable, nothing until, I got really, really big, except for I had high blood pressure and I pretty much couldn't eat anything that wasn't sweets or cookies or snacks or whatever. So, though with my second, things got a little bit different in the first trimester. And then now with my third, same thing. Okay, so I'm gonna go into a few points. This may be true for some first-time moms, which I know that it is. And then for you mamas who are going into your second, third, fourth, fifth baby, you guys will totally get what I'm getting at. So, the ugly truth about the first trimester of pregnancy. We all know about nausea, right? Everybody, that's like the most common side effect of being pregnant. With my second daughter, that is how I immediately knew I was pregnant. Before my missed period, I was nauseous and I did not feel good as soon as I woke up in the morning. Took a pregnancy test, sure enough, I was definitely pregnant. With this baby though, I didn't really have as much nausea, which is crazy, right? Both my girls, I was super sick the whole time. I mean, we're talking, I carried around ginger ale and Ritz crackers in my purse. Everywhere I went, I had to have crackers by the bed before I could even get out of bed. I have shoving crackers in my face. So probably why I gained more weight with my first one. So anyways, I had to have some sort of food substance, bagels, bread, something dry. It's like being hungover. You're like, weeks of being hungover. As soon as you're hungry at all, sick to your stomach. Yeah, pretty much worst hangover ever. But, of course, you guys know it's all for an amazing reason. So, a little tips that could help you guys with nausea is having crackers or something that you can have first thing in the morning when you wake up. Don't even get out of bed. Don't even sit up. Literally roll over, munch on something, and your husband or significant other will probably be like, what the heck are you doing eating crackers in bed? But he loves you and he will be happy when you're not grumpy and you're not throwing up the whole time. So something as soon as you wake up, have ginger ale, or they make ginger candies, Prego Pops. All of those have ginger or peppermint in them. Those help soothe your stomach. Peppermint helped me a lot more because ginger wasn't readily available for me. I live in a pretty small town. And when I had my first daughter, I just wasn't really ordering anything online. I mean, that was 7, 8 years ago. So there wasn't as much things readily available online. There was, but I just wasn't super tech savvy. Neither am I now, so. Anyways. Other things that can help you is my friend told me about bananas, which I was like, I mean, I like bananas, but do I want to eat bananas right away? It did not sound good to me. I was like, no, I don't want bananas. Shoved bananas down, made them go down, and as soon as it hit my stomach, it just helped settle everything. It has something to do with the potassium in them. Other things that you can do to avoid it are, you know, make sure, for me, figure out your schedule, like what happens to you. But for me, anytime I was the least bit hungry, I got immediately nauseous. And then it was either eat right now or I'm gonna go puke. And so I always had, that's why I said I carry crackers with me, because even if I'm waiting for my food, I'd just be snacking on crackers. Because what if you're at a restaurant that doesn't serve bread, or you don't have the money for an appetizer, or you're just out driving and you're on the way home with groceries and you still have to cook dinner? What if that hunger strikes? So keep something with you that'll help. Figure out what time of day that morning sickness strikes you. Morning sickness is not just in the morning. That is a complete misconception. It can happen any time of day. For me, it happened first thing when I woke up and then right before bed. So, or anytime I was hungry. But like right before bed was when it would happen for me. With this baby, it happened for me before bed. And it came along with a few other things too. But anyways, so yeah, it happened right before bed for the most part. So I made sure I had like a couple crackers or something before bed, or I'd wake up in the middle of the night and not feel good. So then I still kept crackers by my bed for this baby. Okay, moving on. Fun things. So we're talking about things coming out. What if things don't come out? Yeah, we're talking about number 2. So one of the really, really common side effects of pregnancy is constipation. Or it could be reversed and you could have diarrhea. Constipation is huge because all of your internal organs and everything are being kind of rearranged because your uterus is growing. Therefore, it puts a strain on your intestines and things do not come out as easily as possible. So that is an ugly thing that not many people know, is that, you know, when it's time to go, it's not pleasant. So you have to talk to your doctor to see what type of things you can do to help with constipation. For me, I'm on the verge of being lactose intolerant, so if I drink milk, that really helps me. However, with my first 2 girls, I was never constipated ever. I had the opposite. I had diarrhea all the time, which is just pleasant. So when I had to go, I had to go. There was no, wait, honey, I'm in the bathroom. It was no, get out of the way, or we're gonna have an issue. So for me, it was opposite. I was eating dry things to just try to like stop the flow of things. But with this baby, it has been opposite. So I am more on the drinking milk, drinking this, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, either of those, you can talk to your doctor. They can recommend certain things that you can take, because there is things like you're not allowed to take Pepto, that sort of stuff. But they can give you some tips and tricks for that specifically. I mean, I did what worked for me because I was kind of lactose intolerant, or I kind of am. So I can drink a good amount of milk and it keeps things regular for me. Some people, you know, you have to lay off like cheese or, you know, anything like that. So a lot of times they just recommend eating a lot of fiber, which that's fine, but sometimes that doesn't help. Anyways, that's a fun one. Stomach aches and cramps. So with my first, didn't really have this until way later. Second and third, it got progressively worse with each baby. My stomach hurt so bad, I felt like I was having a full-blown period. Like your period you get after you have a baby is rough. It was like that. But there was no bleeding or anything with my second one. So, you know, it makes you worried. Anytime you feel something like you're gonna have a period, you panic because you are a mom and you're worried. You know that, you know, they tell you that, you know, if there's bleeding, if there's pain, if there's anything like that, then you need to come in immediately. However, cramping and stomach pain in general is actually normal, as well as spotting and bleeding. With this last baby, I didn't bleed with either of my girls. With this last baby, I bled like a good amount. So I knew, I took a pregnancy test about 3.5 weeks. I was like 5 days before my missed period. I took a test, I just kind of knew, and sure thing, immediately it was positive. So I knew for like 5 days that I was pregnant. So over a week, I was about 5 weeks pregnant, I started bleeding and I was panicking. I thought I was having a miscarriage. I was cramping extremely bad. I was like, okay, I am having a period, you know, I'm fully prepared. I prepared myself that I was having a miscarriage. So I immediately had called my doctor as soon as the bleeding had started, and they went in, they checked. They couldn't see anything really because I was so early on, but they made you take a pregnancy test anyways, which you can do at home, but doesn't ease your mind any. And they basically told me to go home and just kind of hope for the best. There wasn't anything they could do for me. So 2 weeks went by. I was 6 weeks, a little over 6 weeks pregnant, 6.5. So I had known for over 2.5 weeks that I was pregnant. I had known for 3 weeks that I was pregnant. And I literally just had to sit there and just pray and hope for the best. And so I went in and I had my first ultrasound, and they said, well, you know, we might not be able to see anything. She takes us in the big ultrasound room. So normally your first ultrasound with this doctor, I've had this doctor for both my girls, and my husband had her for his son. So I had gone through it multiple times. So she brought us in the big ultrasound room, which made me immediately nervous. I was like, okay, this is like, you know, the big ultrasound room that you have for when you reveal your gender, and it's high tech. I mean, they can measure the length of the head, they can give you an estimated weight, all of that. They can check kidneys, everything when baby's further along. So I was immediately nervous. I was like, why are we in this room? Why are we not in like a regular room and they have a portable machine that they bring in to do your first ultrasound? Super scared. So she ends up doing the ultrasound, and she can tell that the baby has a heartbeat. So immediately that is completely relieving, and just, you know, it just eases your mind. And she told me, you know, there's still a chance that it could, because the heartbeat was low, but she's like, it's so early in pregnancy, you know, it's normal to have a low heart rate. So, but just be prepared that if you still are bleeding, you know, you could still miscarry. That didn't really ease my mind a whole lot at all. So here goes another 2 weeks of waiting. 2 weeks later, I am 9 weeks pregnant now. She has us do an ultrasound with an ultrasound tech in the large room again. So I'm like, okay, there's got to be complications or something she's worried about, because it's so early to have something with an ultrasound tech. Usually that's, you know, something that comes along later. Like I said, so the ultrasound tech went in. She's quiet. Quiet is never good, usually. And she goes, yeah, no, your baby looks great. Measuring 2 days ahead. And I'm like, okay. So she's like, no, everything looks good. At that time though, I had stopped bleeding. So I knew I was feeling a lot better. I had been like right after my doctor's appointment, I had bled quite a bit. And then right after that, no blood whatsoever, immediately just stopped. And so she looked at everything was great. So some women do bleed throughout their whole pregnancy like a normal period. That's how you get those stories of, I didn't know I was pregnant. That's also how you know, some women don't know until they're further along because they're thinking they're having a normal period until all of a sudden other symptoms come up. So just be aware that some bleeding and spotting is normal, but definitely go to your doctor. But I'm going to give you a heads up. Sometimes it's not the comfort that you need in a way, because they may not give you an answer right away. What's going on? But anyway, so bleeding is normal. Discomfort is normal. They also say that, you know, you have lightning crotch. Yeah, that's a thing. And it happens in the beginning of your pregnancy. Lightning crotch is literally pains that shoot down from, like, it feels like your ovaries down into your groin, and it feels like you're kind of getting stabbed. That is something that is normal too, and I get that as well. But like cramping is probably the huge one. Like, yeah, cramping. So another fun one. This is one that I Didn't really deal with both my girls until way late in pregnancy. However, it's super common in the beginning of your pregnancy. I had an insomnia so bad that I literally did not sleep for 2 months straight. That sounds like an exaggeration. It wasn't. I literally got 10 minutes here and awake for 45 minutes. 10 minutes. It was like dozing off in like a car ride or something. It was awful. I took Tylenol before bed. I took showers. I tried everything. I slept with all the windows open. I mean, we live in Montana and it's like October and I still sleep with the window open. So, but anyways, sleeping with the windows open, trying anything and everything to get some sleep. And I still have children and a life to deal with on top of it all. And I am one of those people that need like a good amount of sleep. If I don't have it, I am a grouch. It is bad. So be prepared. Insomnia can hit you at any time in pregnancy. It's totally normal and it totally sucks. So yeah, anyways, they do make like some creams and oils, and you know, if you're one of those, you know, young living essential oil people, maybe that'll help. I didn't do it. But at that point, I probably would have done anything, because anything to get more than an uninterrupted 30 minutes of sleep would have saved my life. So, yeah, insomnia. That's a fun one. Along with insomnia come nightmares. So I had nightmares with all 3 of my children now, and they are vivid. That's something that, like, I don't know if I didn't know. With my first one, I had dreams. I had the most dreams with her, for sure. But it came later on in pregnancy. But early in pregnancy, this baby, I've had quite some interesting nightmares. Of course, things, it plays off things that are happening in your life for the most part, just like normal dreams do. So if you're struggling with something personally or in your relationship, or for example, you know, you're having a baby, that's a huge life change. Those things will come up in your dreams and they will be vivid. I had a dream, for example, I don't like to talk about it because it was super vivid, but I had a dream that both my girls got hurt, and I'll just leave it at that. But I literally woke up bawling. I'm not that type of person, really, ever. I have a dream and I'm like, okay, it's just a dream. No, I woke up crying, and my husband's like, what is wrong? What is going on? I'm like, I had the worst nightmare, and I'm just tears streaming down my face. And he literally held me as I cried, and the whole day I felt awful. I felt like my world had crashed down around me, even though it was literally just a dream. But vivid dreams are very, very common. And it can happen first trimester. You know, a lot of times people have them late in late. It's common to have them in the beginning of the first trimester. So insomnia and bad dreams at the same time, not fun. Also, I think part of my insomnia too is the discomfort. My hips knew what to do. So your hips move when in pregnancy, and the more babies you have, apparently the sooner your body knows what's up. So I'm like 5 weeks pregnant and my hips are already like expanding. I'm like, what are you doing? We're not having a baby for 35 more weeks. Like, you have months and months. I mean, we have like 8.5 more months, whatever, of pregnancy. Can you just wait till the end when I'm already as big as a whale and I can't sleep anyways? Can you just do it then? No. So my hips ached like crazy, which made my back ache. So and you know, mainly it was my hips, but the discomfort was awful. I couldn't lay on my back, couldn't lay on my stomach, couldn't lay on either side. So that probably is a good portion of why I couldn't sleep, on top of like the crazy flood of hormones that create insomnia too. Hot flashes. So, you know, we hear when you go through menopause, you have hot flashes like crazy. That's the same for when you're pregnant too. However, this pregnancy, I've had hot flashes at night. They don't happen during the day when it would be convenient, because now we're in December and it's cold out. It would be nice if I could get a hot flash and warm up No, it happens in the middle of the night while I'm sleeping. So December, when we had snow, I had all the windows open. It could be blizzarding outside, and I had all the windows open, fans going, and I was still sweating. Like, I'm hot. So increased heat is common because you have a lot more blood in your body, therefore your body's working harder to pump that blood. And so that's where the heat generates from. So we like to joke and say Peanut is, only doing his job to keep me warm at night. But it would be nice if he'd do it during the day too. So kind of along with nausea though, way back to the beginning, is food aversions. So, everybody talks about cravings. Everybody has all these crazy cravings, which a lot of times kick in like second trimester. The beginning of your trimester is food, or your first trimester is food aversions. I didn't really have much of this in general with my first two. I had certain smells that, like if I smelled something, it would make me nauseous and I want to throw up. For example, I was cooking onions and garlic to put on steak, and on 4th of July with my first daughter, and I went and I threw up, and I had to have my husband finish cooking it for me. This baby though, he has decided he does not like meat. I love meat. I am a steak and potatoes and chicken, and I love meat in general. He does not like it, or it. I think it's a boy, so I don't know. It does not like it. Therefore, I am not able to eat meat. My husband took me out for my 30th birthday to an amazing restaurant here that serves the most amazing steak. And I had 3 bites, and that was all I could eat. It was painful, horribly painful to sit there and look at it and know that it's good. But I knew if I took another bite, I was gonna be sick. We also went to a restaurant. I was only 6 weeks pregnant at the time, and we were getting married that weekend. And my husband's family had came up, for the wedding, and they took us out to dinner to this hibachi grill, and they cook the food in front of you. It's amazing, right? The smell was awful. And I had to literally hide in the bathroom until they were done cooking. So immediately, nobody had known that we were pregnant because we didn't want to tell anybody until after we got married. When we had planned to have baby, we thought, you go off birth control, it's going to take a while to get pregnant. So we went off birth control the month before we got married because we're thinking, oh, it'll take a couple months for us to get pregnant. No, got pregnant right away. So I was 7 weeks pregnant in my wedding dress, which is fine. But, we hadn't told the family yet because we didn't want them to know. And we kind of wanted to live in that excitement of the wedding, not so much excitement of wedding and baby. And then I hate the questions. Are you getting married because you're pregnant? No, we were engaged months and months before. The wedding was already planned, but baby came a little earlier than we had planned. But anyway, so we're trying to avoid those things. So as soon as I came out of the bathroom, of course, at the beginning of the meal, everybody's ordering drinks and I order water. My father-in-law looks at me and he goes, "Why are you not having the beer?" And I go, "Oh, I don't know. My stomach's just a little upset today, so I'm just going to stick with water for a while." And he goes, "Okay." He gives me a look and I was like, oh God, he knows. He knows. So, then I leave and come back and he's just watching me. And I was like, yep, he knows. He's not dumb. He knows. And he's watching me the whole time. And he's looking at my husband, looking at me, and then looking at my husband. And I was like, we have to tell him. We have to tell him. He knows. So finally my husband goes, okay, let's just tell them. And they don't live here. So it was kind of something that you want to tell to somebody in person anyways. So he goes, so we have other news. And he was like, we're pregnant also. And his dad goes, yep, I knew it. I knew as soon as she didn't have a beer. So there goes that. So anyways, food aversions. Don't put yourself in a position like I did if you don't want anyone to know yet. We wanted to wait a while, of course, because we were having complications, number one, and we didn't want to, ruin that excitement of the wedding and not have it start to be about baby just quite yet. And we didn't know if at that time we were still thinking that we were possibly going through a miscarriage. We didn't know. So we didn't want to get anybody's hopes up and then all of a sudden, have to hurt everyone's feelings, including ours. But anyway, so if you have food aversions, don't go somewhere with smells. That will give away your secret. Just say. Okay, so there's a few other ones. So they say you won't show until your second trimester. It's a load. Even with my first one, I am like 5'11". I'm not a tiny girl by any means, but I'm not a big girl either. I knew, like, I was showing by 8 weeks with my first daughter, and most of it is bloating in general, but it is caused by baby. And, you know, your uterus is getting bigger, it's causing everything to push up, therefore your stomach. So it may not be baby right in the front, but it is caused by baby. So you are showing already. Of course, I am now 15 weeks and I am definitely showing. So that, you know, does the issues of, you know, your clothes fitting, and especially if you don't want to tell anybody. A lot of people don't tell anybody until they're like 12 weeks pregnant. When your pants start getting tight, you either have to buy new pants quickly or buy a size up. You can do belly bands or the rubber band trick. All of those I'll talk about later. To hide it for a while if you need to, and you can do baggy shirts, etc. But you can show early, and bloating comes with other things like gas. Yeah, you know, that's something that's fun. That's something that most women deal with throughout their pregnancy, but it shows up in the first trimester. Yeah. So if you're like a super gassy person, you know, or even if you're not, you're gonna be now because your digestive system is all sorts of whacked out and everything's pushing on there and whatever. Gas is pretty much inevitable for every pregnant woman. I don't think I've talked to anybody who hasn't dealt with it at some point. And there's not much you can take for it. And then that can also cause cramping and other things too. Kind of all ties together. But anyways, you know, find out what foods cause your stomach to be upset worse. For me, salad in the beginning. I could not have salad. Like, salad was bad. You know, it wasn't, and then not really beans or anything like that, but it was mainly salad. And then there for a while, at the end, like at nighttime, dinner time, after I ate every meal, I was so uncomfortable and gassy and just awful that, of course, there was no romance going on before going to bed. So that's another thing. If you are super close with your partner and, you know, you're having some of these like symptoms and issues early on in pregnancy, you're gonna wanna figure out when those happen. For me, it's right before bed. So therefore, if our special time happens, it's gonna have to happen during the day. So you're gonna have to make time for it during the day. Also, you know, your boobs get really sore. And like, I don't know, 68% of women have this pregnancy symptom. So that's kind of one of the common ones, you know. It was my first indicator with my second daughter, and it came shortly after with this baby too. So sore boobs is super common. You know, invest in a really good sports bra if you want. Sometimes the pressure actually helps relieve the pain. For me, it was just having something supportive. I mean, I slept in a bra for a little while in the very beginning because they were so sore, and the sensitivity on your nipples can get really, really, really bad. But they tell you, they're like, oh, it's fine, you know, everybody gets sore boobs, your boobs are growing. That's great, except for the fact that you're having cramps and your hips are sore and you can't sleep. You can't sleep on your stomach because your boobs hurt. It just adds into things. And then, of course, mood swings. Mood swings are common with every pregnant woman. I don't think there's a pregnant woman that goes through pregnancy just hunky-dory and does not have a crazy mood swing. I have a really good filter and a really good fuse on my temper. However, when pregnant, you know, it could be the lack of sleep. It's also the hormones. You know, you tend to like snap a little bit more or get a little frustrated with the children sooner, or the husband when you're like, why are you doing it like that? That's so inefficient, or whatever. Just be aware, mood swings are super normal, not pleasant, and sometimes you really have to watch yourself so you make sure that you're not upsetting everybody in your family because you're on a rampage. But yeah, so mood swings are super common, but just be aware they are not fun. But just think about it, because in the beginning, why you have so many like nausea, the crazy mood swings, all heat flash, all of that, like hot flashes, all of that comes from you don't have a placenta to work off of. So the baby is literally taking things from you. And that's why they say once you get into your second trimester, things will be a lot better, your symptoms will be better, things will be better. And most of the time it's true. The first trimester, I think for me personally, with these two babies, maybe not so much my first one, but these two babies is the worst, because your baby is literally taking everything from you. Where when your placenta is formed, then the baby has its source of food and oxygen and all of that, and it doesn't take that from you anymore. So that's why your nausea goes away. And yeah. Also common side effects too are headaches, because same concept, baby's taking everything from you. It will cause you to have headaches sometimes. I'm not a person that gets headaches ever. So if I have a headache, I'm down for the count. I'm kind of a wuss when it comes to that part. I don't do well with my head feeling out of it, I guess. But yeah, headaches are another common necessary evil, I guess, in a way too. And last but not least, no libido. Yeah, I feel so sorry for the men who, if you're actively trying to get pregnant, up until this point have been having sex all the time, right? I mean, the guys are in heaven, you're loving life, you're getting exercise on top of it all, you guys are doing something together, you're making a baby, and then you get pregnant and you feel like crap, and then you don't want to have sex anymore, and the guy's like, what is going on? Like, it was so good. And then now what happened? Don't worry. It's your hormones. And on top of it all, it's all of your symptoms wrapped into one. It's kind of like having the flu, or like I said, being hungover for a couple months. It gets better. So second trimester for me on both my girls has been amazing. And the libido comes back. So if you're struggling with your husband or significant other and you guys feel like you're not having that alone time or that connection, find different ways to do it. If it's snuggling on the couch and watching a movie together, great. If it's date night out, just you guys by yourselves, or just taking time to do something together that you guys feel close, then do that. Because that first month with you feeling really sick, or you know, having other issues and symptoms, that can, you know, you don't want it to influence your relationship. And biggest thing for me is to let them know what's going on. Just be like, I am so sorry, I feel so sick today, or I am gassy and I'm pretty sure if we have sex I may fart on you, so just be aware. You know, and those things don't make you feel sexy, and then you're kind of bloated at the same time, so maybe you're not feeling as good about your body. Just let them know, because they don't understand what you're going through. They see little parts. They see you being sick. They see you not eating food. They see little parts, but they don't really understand how it's making you feel, that it's wearing you down, that you're tired. That's another huge one, is just being exhaustion. Exhaustion is probably the #1 symptom of being pregnant, is being exhausted. And that comes from, again, you don't have a placenta in your first trimester. So the baby is literally sucking everything out of you. And that's why you were so tired. So tell your husband or whoever, significant other, whoever, hey, I'm so sorry, I'm grumpy tonight. I do not feel good. You know, my stomach's upset. I'm hungry. I'm tired, whatever. Just let them know what's going on, because as a man, most men, they feel their love and their worth in those private moments with you. So if you guys are struggling in that area, I just encourage you guys to talk to each other. But yeah, so kind of a long video. I'll try to edit some of it out. A lot of it's gibberish and I like to talk, hence why we are here. But yeah, so I hope that helps you guys in I hope this helps you guys in some form. And not just like the ugly truth of, you know, first trimester, sorry, like don't get pregnant way. Having a baby is a beautiful and amazing thing. But I want you guys to know that you're not alone, that these are symptoms that are normal and they come with pregnancy, and that you guys shouldn't be afraid of them. And you should just be aware, so then you know what to expect. You know, having the what to expect when you're expecting book helped me with my first child. Other things some things followed along that great, some things they left out that I wish that I would have known from friends. So then, you know, when symptoms happened, I didn't have to call my doctor and be like, is this normal? Or, you know, talk to them and be like, I'm so tired, like, is something wrong with me? No, absolutely not. That is completely normal. So I'm here to tell you guys that just be so happy that you guys are having a baby. This is an amazing thing. Okay, sorry guys, my phone died, and then now of course my natural light is gone because it's 4 o'clock and we are in Montana and it is sunset, which is horrible in the winter. But anyways, to continue on, remember that having a baby is a beautiful thing. So many women want to be on this journey that you're on, and even though some of the symptoms are crazy, sometimes you feel like you're going crazy, just remember how blessed and how blessed you really are, and just cherish every moment, because I promise you, as soon as that baby hits your arms, it'll all be worth it. Every single bit of it, every hot flash, every throwing up episode, every time you're hanging out in the bathroom, or every toot that you're trying to hide. Just remember that it is all leading up to something amazing that will change your life forever. So I hope that that was a good video for you guys. I hope you guys take something from it. But I want to thank you guys, and I will be posting a video next week. And yeah, so remember to always love yourself and to be kind to others and to have the most amazing life that you can. All right, see you later, guys.